make any changes.
Do football. Dun 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun,
Dun
dun.
dun dun dun.
Ba, 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 ba.
This
Hello.
is Clickbait Sports, the most bastardly of bastard NFL YouTube shows on YouTube. We're five guys who talk about football every day, every week on our YouTube channels. And the 5 minutes before this show started, you've never seen five men so sad and scared that football is here. Just a bunch of pathetic men with no free time on their hands anymore. Our life is the NFL's now. It's out of our control, and we're at its mercy. But it happens tonight, guys. Huh?
I wrote to my family a couple days ago. I told them, "Hey, look, I'm not going to be able to see you till February. I'm going to cocoon in a basement, and I will be doing nothing but rambling about the football and maybe some baseball and hockey here and there, but mostly football. The NFL has me tied up to the ball and chain, and now I got to go out to the work row and break some rocks."
I actually take that back. Scooter's always positive, even behind the scenes. Very positive. He's like, guys, I'm going to go to every football game next year. Tom's like, I have had 1 hour of sleep in the last week, but that's just because he's making videos. So
Yeah.
Tree and
So
Adam
what
and I,
are we
we're just
doing
bitter for fun.
What are we doing the first day of NFL football? I think we're going to be predicting what happens this Thursday as well as what we think is going to be happening in our games this Sunday. But before we begin, Tom Grassi, how are you feeling right now? Let's just get this out of the way immediately. We need to hear your voice.
Damn it, Scooter. I'm great. I'm wonderful. I was in the midst of editing, and now we're here. And then when we get off, I'm gonna edit again, and then I'm gonna stream, and then I'm gonna do a video.
That's fair.
I still feel like you clone people, and then you just.
I'm telling you,
That's why I feel like I feel like I don't know how else you get all those videos out, man. I mean, you've been going nonstop in your coach.
The day that cloning becomes real, I'm investing. Easy.
I'm doing it too. No,
done, and it's not even
full
a conversation. I will be able to get so much more work done. It'll be great.
My thing, Tom,
That
is
is
like
fair.
you're gonna have to quit being a full-time YouTuber to become a full-time YouTuber. Like you're gonna have to quit your own job now to be like, hey, I've got to do this other. I've got to be a full-time YouTuber full-time. So then now you're gonna have 2 full-time gigs.
What version of Tom are we on? Because I know if he did clone himself, some of those clones are dead.
You ever seen the Prestige?
Yes. It's been a while.
Just say there's lots of vets. There's a lot of vets.
That is fair.
So what happens if you accidentally lose your finger? You're gonna have to cut the finger off the other clone.
I mean,
that?
I mean, this one happens to wear these bracelet things now. I don't know what the next one's gonna do, but whatever. Just gotta keep working. That's it.
Yeah,
maybe it's like that Simpsons episode. They have no belly button.
We say anything else about the clones of Tom? We're actually going to be talking about some NFL football today. The NFL is back, but before we get into this Thursday night football game preview, there has been some news around the NFL. Chandler Jones, what's going on with this man? Mike Evans, Chris Jones. We're going to talk about it all before we preview all of these games. Where do you guys want to start, actually? I think we should start with Chris Jones. What do you guys know? What have you heard? Will he be playing week 1? What are you guys' predictions?
Well, if Chris Jones needs an endorsement, we got the Benchwarmer Brew right here, man.
Benchwarmerbrew.com, the best coffee.
It's good coffee.
Hey, you guys know what my
great hit of my family reunion on Sunday.
You guys want to know how much money I made in Q3 from Benchwarmer Brew?
$300.
$0.
You didn't sell any?
The charity shirts, the cost to produce those basically ate all of it. So
Wow.
Hey, those were
I
nice
think
shirts.
I'm not
though,
good
dude.
at business, is my point.
Magnanimity isn't free.
But back to NFL football, Chris Jones. What are we thinking about Chris Jones? Will he be playing this Sunday? Yes or no? 5. Go ahead.
Well, Nick Bosa is tied to this whole thing. Chris Jones's contract is not going to be negotiated without what happened to Nick Bosa. So Nick went out and got paid. Obviously, Jones is going to point to that as an example of you need to pay me. They don't even the Niners have just blown past the salary cap. And if
next
Chris
year, they're
Jones
screwed.
is smart and his agent says anything, he's like, look, this thing is a social construct. You need to give me at least close to Nick Bosa money, if not comparable. And he will be signed soon. And he will be playing, not tonight, but obviously by the end of by next week. He'll be in there. And they'll just
You think Chris Jones will be playing by next week?
Yes.
Because the Chiefs are going to give
There's
him
no more
what he
leverage.
deserves?
There's no more leverage here for the Chiefs.
Well, he's going to want at least
Jones
30
has
million
all the
now.
power. Chris
Even at
Jones has
30.
all the power because Nick Bosa signed that contract.
But Nick Bosa, too, it's like apples and oranges. But Nick Bosa did reset the market. I think it does more for a guy like a Josh Allen, who is going to be a free agent soon, I believe. At the end of the year.
That's the thing. I don't think there's any upcoming rushers that are necessarily going to break Bosa's contract because, I don't think Chris Jones. I think Chris Jones is a really good player. I think Bosa got that contract because it's a combination of his talent and skill, but it's also his youth, right? He's a young dude. Chris Jones is a little bit older, and I don't think he's going to command that kind of money. The only other guy I can see commanding that kind of money is Micah Parsons, because I feel like Rashawn Gary, his contract is coming up as well. I don't think he's going to get Bosa money. It'll probably go up because of Bosa's contract, but I don't think it's going to supersede it. The next one who's going to supersede it, in my opinion, is going to be Parsons.
Parsons would be a good check.
You don't think
Unfortunately,
Jones, he might. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, unfortunately, I do have to agree with Tom on this. I think Micah Parsons will be getting more than Bosa. And if the Cowboys are smart, we would get that deal done next year when he's eligible for an extension, not delay and do any of these Jerry Jones stall tactics, because the longer we delay, the more it's going to cost. So
no, I don't.
We'll see
I don't
what
see
happens
Jones.
with that.
I don't see Jones lollygagging on that. I think it gets done very quickly because he's the type of guy. I mean, he overpaid for Ezekiel Elliott. He's not gonna play tough with Micah Parsons. I don't think
he does have his favorites. He does have his favorites.
I wasn't listening. I thought we were talking about Chris Jones still.
No, not I was talking about Jerry Jones, not Chris.
I think it's all
your Joneses. Keep up with your Joneses.
Steelers.
Ian Rappaport was saying most likely Chris Jones, expect him back around week 8. So I feel like they're still far apart. And I think the Nick Bosa contract, the Chiefs are like
player.
This to the 49ers.
I mean,
Niners
had no choice.
Guaranteed, San Francisco. This does not help our negotiations at all.
Well,
different
it doesn't.
Position,
but
a little bit different player, but in terms of impact to their team, to their defense, Chris Jones just as much so to the Chiefs. Now, maybe the Chiefs. So I heard somebody talking about how the Chiefs play tonight on their defensive line, specifically their defensive front. How it handles tonight against the Lions is either going to help their leverage or hurt it, right? So the Lions run the ball down their throats and the Chiefs can't stop them. Then Chris Jones is like, look what it's going to look like without me. But if they, they do a decent job and their offense will always keep them in games. But if their defense looks good, and it never really looks good early in the season, every year we're like, maybe there's some questions with the Chiefs defense. And then halfway through to the playoffs, the opportunistic defenses take over. And so, I think it's in the fate of the Lions, who are going to win tonight.
Ooh,
we are going to try
Go
and
Birds.
move along.
Go Birds.
We're going to try and move along because this is going to be a shorter clickbait episode. So we got to get to some more things.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Which
So
birds,
before
though?
We get off of this. Let's take a
Just
vote.
what you say when you want your team to win. Go Birds.
Will Chris Jones be on the Chiefs by week 8? Yes or no?
I think they get a deal done by then. So yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to say week 3 personally. Yes. All right, we're all yeses. Moving on. Mike Evans, similar situation. One of the top receivers in the league wanting to get paid by the Buccaneers. Do we think a deal is made by this Sunday?
Why does he want to stay in Tampa? Like
money.
Baker Mayfield's giving him the ball. Like, I don't understand what his mentality. He's not going to win much there.
5. You have to think about it. Mike Evans has only played in Tampa Bay. He's won a ring there. He's going to be in the Ring of Honor when his career's done. Might as well get one last paycheck, hang out for a few years, get some balls, break a few more records, maybe become the most greatest receiver in Tampa Bay Buccaneers history, retire, and go out a legend. I think that's his reasoning. I mean, for contract-wise, I get why Tampa Bay doesn't want to pay him because he's a 30-year-old wide receiver, and when receivers lose their legs, they just fall off a cliff. And you were kind of getting some injury concerns with Evans in the last couple of years. But for the most part, I feel like he's going to be a deadline deal move if they don't make a deal.
Do you think he's like a pity contract, like it's a multi-year, 3-year deal, where they hedge their bets? I mean, he, like you just said, he's over 30. Like any football players over 30, unless they're quarterbacks at the height of their game, yes, like you said, tend to decline like a car driving off the lot. They are getting older. They've been.
What is more likely for Mike Evans? He gets an extension with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, or he gets moved from his team to a team like the New York Giants?
I mean, I would love that. But
would you welcome something like that? Because that has been proposed online.
He's one of the most consistent wide receivers in the league. Like the guy's had 1,000 yards every single year that he's been in the league. Like regardless of quarterback, obviously he had Tom Brady throw it to him, but like regardless of quarterback, he's been that guy. So yeah, if he doesn't fall off a cliff this year, absolutely take a swing on him. If you're like the Giants, why not?
Yeah, I think he gets moved if like the Buccaneers are clearly bad. By what's the trade deadline? Like end of October, last week in October?
7, week 8, I think.
Yeah. And that's not a guarantee in that division. Like they could have something to play for, and therefore maybe they don't want to get rid of Mike Evans at that point. I also think Baker Mayfield throws a more catchable football than Tom Brady. Otherwise, why would have Mike Evans dropped that wide open touchdown against the Panthers last year? So I think he'll have an even better season. But if they're bad, then yeah, they've got some leverage to move in, and there will be teams that are competing that will be interested in Mike Evans.
Yeah, I mean the Giants, that we upgraded our wide receiver core. We got Hyatt, the big tall kid. We got Wandale coming back. Darius Slayton's still there.
You know how I know the Giants
Sterling
haven't
Shepard
really upgraded their receiving core?
Why?
Is of the dozens and dozens of fantasy drafts I've done this offseason, about round 15, there's like 9 Giants receivers still available for me to draft.
Well, here's the thing.
And it's one or two of those guys might be good, but there's nobody knows who the dog is going to be in that offense right now.
Yeah, it's Saquon Barkley.
Darren Waller's going like in the 3rd round. And then it's like, shit, I'll take Jalen Hyatt in round 18. I'll take Isaiah
I've got injury. There. Yeah, I've got injury concerns for Waller. He's not always the most reliable. You got to worry about Saquon being there every week because he is the straw that stirs the Giants' drink. And then Daniel Jones is, a poor man's Lamar Jackson, really, in this offense. That's the best way to describe it. It's not a wide receiver oriented offense. He's not Josh Allen. He's not Lamar Jackson. He's somewhere in between Daniel Jones. Now he can throw a deep ball. So maybe there's a wide receiver that's productive, like a Hyatt that can just go up and get balls. But Kenny Golladay was on milk cartons.
Pacheco on the over.
I don't like comparing Daniel Jones to anything with Lamar Jackson in the title. This man is not running RPOs ever. Basically, his best strength in his running comes from his scrambling when they're playing man coverage on the outside. I don't know if he's a
no. I mean, for me, they design a lot of runs for Jones. They design a lot. They do have. He's an athletic, fast quarterback who is going to be expected to gain yards with his feet.
Did you see? I think it came across Twitter. I think it was yesterday, the other day. I honestly forget which talk show it was, but they were saying like there's an argument to be made that like Baker Mayfield is going to have a better year than Dak. And I was just like, that's interesting. Like considering like you have Godwin and you have Mike Evans, if they're throwing the ball a lot.
Baker had a rough year last year.
He did.
And he had DJ Moore as a receiver. It's not like he was throwing to crap.
I saw Baker Mayfield play on Christmas, and he looked pretty dang good.
Well, anything looks good compared to Russell Wilson. Dude was on a 3rd and 9 rolling out. He had a first down. They just chucks it into double coverage in the end zone. Dude, any of us could have probably done better than Russell Wilson that day just because we wouldn't be wrapped.
Pretty good on Christmas, guys.
All right. So Mike Evans' final word. Maybe he'll get moved. We'll keep an eye on that situation. Let's move on, though, because we got a lot to get through. Chandler Jones. Does anyone know? Has anyone heard what is going on with Chandler Jones? Perna, take it away.
Let me take this one because I ripped Josh McDaniels and the Raiders. I just dunked on him as hard as I could yesterday.
I agree.
Then that night, some more shit about Chandler Jones comes out. Looks like a more serious situation than I gave it credit for. Thought Chandler Jones just mad at the organization. It's like Josh McDaniels has made so many players mad. I'm sure this is Josh McDaniels' fault. Then we learned maybe there's some serious stuff going on with Chandler Jones. Don't know what's true right now. So then today, I had to make an apology video saying I was sorry for crucifying Josh McDaniels. I had to apologize to the Raiders because I didn't like the way I came off as being insensitive if Chandler Jones is going through some mental health stuff.
Never apologize.
So, what I'll say at this point is we probably shouldn't talk about Chandler Jones until we actually know more about the situation, until they work it out with the Raiders.
Because Jones says they just sent a crisis team to his home, so it's very vague. It's a lot of he said, she said right now.
Yeah, he turned them away. It doesn't mean that that's definitely what's happening. I think it's disingenuous to just like throw that label on people when you don't know if that's what they're going through.
Sure.
And, you know, I'm trying to just not be blinded by my hatred for Josh McDaniels. And, you know, I just like you guys to say, you know what, Brandon, you were a big man. You admitted you were wrong, and we're all proud of you. So say that.
You know what, Brandon?
And then we'll let the Raiders work it out. And then when we know more, we'll talk about it.
That's fair. I think we should just keep it there.
Don't do a me, guys. Don't do a me.
So you think that Baker will have a better year?
Oh, 100%.
Than Dak.
All right, we're going to keep this show moving right along. Nate Peterman? We're actually going to pivot to Jason Kelce.
I mean, Travis Kelce.
You guys heard? Yeah, I'm sorry, Travis Kelce. Yes, what have you guys heard about Travis Kelce? Hyperextended one of his knees, I believe. And so I don't know if he's going to be ready to go today in the game. What do you guys know about the situation?
Update is game time decision. So we probably won't be hearing about it for the next couple hours.
I'm going to tell you that means that he's not playing.
See?
Well, it could mean he is playing. I mean, they inject him with enough Toradol. You don't feel anything. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. And then you might risk destroying the foundation of the knee itself, but it's going to be probably an offensive shootout if, like, the Lions of last year and the Chiefs without Chris Jones are any indication.
Right. But what is the reward for playing him if there's any doubt, right? What is it's week one.
It's pride.
There's no playoff implications tonight. It's, there's no benefit if he's questionable. So I don't think he plays. Kirsten says there's no way he doesn't play.
Whoa.
His agent was like, was it the owner who came out and said he's like, oh, I wouldn't bet against him. I mean,
man.
If
football athletes are a
Kelce
different
does
breed, man.
not play, I looked at the receivers, like the receiving core that they will have out there tonight. It's not looking good, to be honest. It would be hard to win some games in Madden with this receiver core. What do you guys think? How about we transition to a preview of tonight's game, and then we can go through all of our games for the season. So what are you guys thinking for this Thursday night football game?
I think
I know Kevin's trying to piss me off, but I actually agree with him. This just seems like exactly what's going to happen. Also, screw you, Kevin.
I think expectations, if you're the Lions, I mean, if Kelce's out, then I think expectations are going to be a bit higher. But right now, like the Lions, of course, they want to win the game, obviously. But if they're even just competitive tonight, then like they're going to be looking real, real good heading into the rest of the season. If the Lions win, and especially if they have Kelce, the parade's already going to start. I think for the Chiefs, this is, I don't want to say it's not that important, but I mean, because again, if you're the Chiefs, what's the worst case scenario? You don't win. They have a tough first 5 weeks. You don't win a few games. Oh no. So you get the 2nd or 3rd seed. Oh no. That's what I mean. I think the Chiefs are going to be just fine. This is a bigger game for the Lions because if they get embarrassed, which I don't think the Lions are going to get embarrassed tonight. If they do, it's going to be like, oh, well, this is a problem.
Oh, the thing too with the Kansas City, it's pride because it's at home. It's unveiling their Super Bowl banner. You want to have a positive impression for your fans. So there is some at stake for Kansas City.
Yeah,
it's not like it's one of those things. It's like, oh, we could just sit around and do nothing. They're gunning for a back-to-back Super Bowl. So I think everyone counts in that regard.
Yeah,
it's going to be a shootout because I think it's going to be like Lions Seattle last year was 48-45, but you never know.
Yeah. If you guys recall, what was it, 2 years ago? 3 years ago, the Rams and the Chiefs had played one of the best games, and the opposing quarterback to Patrick Mahomes was Jared Goff. I think a lot of people sleep on his ability as an NFL. I mean, this guy's a former number 1 overall pick. He got traded and discarded and sent off they were like, take him to Detroit. I think you're going to see some bombing tonight. Some bombing. It's going to be a good, high-scoring game. The Lions will make it competitive, but ultimately, I feel like the Chiefs and their experience will pull it out. But I would not be surprised by the Lions winning tonight. Nice legs, Brandon. Nice legs. Nice.
Let's zoom in on those bad boys.
Can we get that? Can we ISO, Brandon?
Oh yeah, I am ISOing that bad boy.
Can we get that? Oh,
turn off that comment.
That.
Oh,
you clearly manscapes. He clearly manscaped.
If you'll excuse me, I'll
Oh wow! Look at those socks too.
Look at this. Let me tell you something about these Detroit Lions, okay?
Okay, all right.
They're going to win this game, not just because I want those GD Chiefs to lose, okay? Not just because that. The one thing I'm legit most curious to watch from the Detroit Lions, and I don't care if Kelce is in or out of the game, it is their secondary. Is their secondary going to look just competent, somewhat competent? Their run defense was horrible last year. They bring in Sam Laporta. I think – oh, sorry, not Laporta. They bring in Jack Campbell on defense. Jack Campbell, the linebacker. Sorry, they did bring Laporta, but he plays tight end. I think all of that's going to be better. And I think if their defense just is respectable, then this team is pretty damn good. You talked about Jared Goff. Definitely underrated. Definitely the Goffins does not get enough credit. They got a healthy Amon-Ra St. Brown, maybe the most underrated, underappreciated receiver in the league. And then we got Jahmyr Gibbs, the second running back taken, the one that is going to light up the Kansas City Chiefs tonight. Okay, 200 yards of rushing offense from the Lions.
That's
all right, 200. They don't have Chris Jones. And some people say, their defense could be okay without him. The fuck it is. That guy is so good. I have watched that man wreck games single-handedly while the rest of the Chiefs defense didn't do anything except for George Karlaftis. That was a pretty good pick by them.
Well, Willie Gay's not bad. Lions, he does something every now and again.
Lions, hot.
All right, so let's go ahead and make our picks. We know who Brandon has. He has the Lions.
I just want to say one thing. If you go on prizepicks.com and use my code 5 points, you can take Jared Goff at 260.5 is his projection. I'm taking the over on that. That's easy money right there.
If you go to Underdog Fantasy and use the code GPS.
Prize Picks.
Yeah. Honestly, if you go to SeatGeek, use the code TREE, you can save $20 off your first purchase.
And if you go to
benchwarmer.com, bring out the bench warmer. Let's go.
Okay,
Get Brandon some money.
That one's cool.
That one's
I
fine.
thought they're all the same. Prize pick.
All right.
Actually, the
Mr.
Chiefs
Picks, though.
linebackers are pretty good, so maybe 200 yards, a bit optimistic. Willie Gay, Nick Bolton, whoever the hell they have back there, pretty good. But
Are you still going with the Lions, though?
yeah, I think it'll be close, but Lions by 6.
All right. 5, who you got?
I have the Chiefs by like 5. Chiefs by 5.
Okay. Tom, what you think in this game?
Yeah, Chiefs by like 4.
And Tree, what are we thinking?
I'm thinking some good old-fashioned Big 12 football. Defense not allowed. Kansas City's going to torch that Lions defense just because of the power they have on offense if Kelce plays. But the Chiefs without Kelce on defense means they're going to get pretty much exposed, especially they do have a relatively young secondary. So I'd say that's going to be a downside. So I will say it's probably going to be last-second field goal by Harrison Butker. Kansas City wins by 2.
I've never felt so confident about a Detroit Lions win in my life.
Wow.
I'm going Kansas City by 7. Listen, you never bet against Mahomes. Never bet against Mahomes. I've seen him do
Betting
less.
against him right now.
I've seen him do more with less, okay? He doesn't need Tyreek Hill. He doesn't even need Travis Kelce. He doesn't even need great receivers. This man is the best quarterback in the game right now. Never bet against Patrick Mahomes. Chiefs by 7. We're going to do a rapid round of us previewing our games for this Sunday.
One more thing, Justin Ross breakout party. That's what I'm thinking.
It's possible. It is possible. He had a great preseason. Let's start in the
Houston,
NFC
3
East,
sacks
though.
for the Lions.
All right, there we go. Let's start in the NFC East. Cowboys versus the Giants. What are we thinking? Mike McCarthy, I believe, is 0-3 or 0-4 in his last first games of the season. Week 1 games. There we go. What are we thinking?
Giants.
Do we break the curse?
The Giants haven't.
What do you think?
The Cowboys.
The floor
The Giants
is yours.
don't. We've done this how many years now? It just seems like the Cowboys beat us week 1 because we always get y'all when you're somewhat healthy and ready, and you guys just. I'm going to be reacting. Tree and I will be reacting to the game on Sunday night on the dumpster fire. So you'll see all my salt. But I don't know. Like, if the Giants go out and win this game, that's going to set the tone for the whole year. The Giants will be a playoff team, like contender all year if they go out and beat the Cowboys week 1. So we'll see. But I haven't believed it. I haven't seen it. It's going to be probably an ugly, nasty, grind the clock out game. But I say the Cowboys will probably win on some BS, like a last second field goal by 3. That's my prediction. Because
all right, I disagree.
Nice had the worst year of my life.
I disagree wholeheartedly with your assessment. Even if the Giants win, they will not be contenders this year because anything can happen week 1. Okay, let's just leave it there. Week 1 is always a weird week for college football. It's always a weird week for NFL football. Even if y'all beat us, which I think I have a hard time believing, I don't really see the Giants competing this year. The NFC East is the hardest division in football. It's going to be hard going up against all those rivals. But for this game, it's looking like Tyron Smith is already injured. We're already in midseason form. I just think the Cowboys are going to be too much. If we were too much last year for the Giants, we're adding in a Brandon Cooks. We're adding in a Stephon Gilmore. We'll see what Deuce Vaughn can do, maybe as a third down running back. We'll see. We will see. But I got the Cowboys by 2 touchdowns winning that game. What about you? Anything else from Perna, Tree, or Grassi for this game?
I hope, and because again, I'll be streaming every primetime game again this year, so I know what I'm doing to myself. I hope that the Cowboys-Giants game is the worst game in the history of the NFL.
Oh, dude.
I am so effing tired of seeing these two teams play week 1 on Sunday Night Football nearly every year. We got a reprieve last year. It was nice. Well, they played Monday instead.
Cowboys played Tampa Bay.
Effing, they did. Thank you. It is so effing
Who
boring.
won that game?
I do
Tampa
not
Bay.
care about the Cowboys and Giants every year. Every now and then, that's fine. But good God, it is so boring, and I could not care less.
Honestly,
so
what they need to do is over under on how many times NBC's trailer shoots has a shot of Jerry Jones in his suite. I'm putting the over under at least 20.
It's just like something else. Like put them week 3. Like they can please Sunday Night Football. That's fine. It just seems like it's always week 1. It's Sunday Night Football. It's Cowboys Giants, and it is so damn weird. Boring.
We don't like it. We don't like it either. But let's move on to preview.
Wait, hold on.
Oh, okay.
Somebody else has to predict.
Right? I want to see Dan Jones throw for 350 yards. I want him to prove all the negative stuff I said about him wrong. I'm rooting for Dan Jones. I like Dan Jones.
Who's Dan Jones?
I just don't want this guy to throw the ball consistently.
No.
So I don't really care who wins that game. But that's what I want to see.
The worst. It's the worst.
All right. Now, what do you want to see, Brandon Perna, in the Sunday night game, Broncos versus Raiders? What are we thinking is going to happen in this game?
Hold on 1 second. Also, you know how I know something's wrong with Dan Jones?
How do you know?
His
only
best
one New York team in
season
the Bills.
was with Pat Shurmur. That doesn't make any sense to me.
That was his rookie year.
Broncos Raiders. Oh man, Broncos Raiders.
Is this a must-win game?
I think the Broncos are going to win this game. I really do. But if they don't, the overreaction to them losing is going to be of epic proportions. If Sean Payton, all the hype around Sean Payton, if they come out and they extend the Raiders win streak to 7 over the Broncos, you are going to see people in Denver probably rioting, possibly in the streets. You're going to see a lot of negativity, and it's not going to be good. So,
well, at least you still have Colorado, University of Colorado. You still have that.
We got Dion, Colorado,
killing it over there. What's your prediction? Official prediction, Brandon. Lock it in.
Broncos 30, Raiders 3.
33.
33. 33. Anyone extra commentary on this game?
Broncos win, but it's a closer game than anticipated.
Yeah, it's like one of those 16-14 games, and it's ugly. It's really ugly.
Tree, what are we
Broncos
thinking?
Suck.
I would say probably an ugly win for the Broncos, mostly because they don't have Hackett to ruin everything. But we never know. We said this week 1 last year, the Broncos were going to roll over the Seahawks, and behold.
Let's see how it plays out.
They lost to the Muskrats or the Doom, but who did they even lose to week 1? They're not even
Seahawks.
Yeah, they're terrible.
The Savannah Bananas.
Yeah, they did lose to the
Now,
Bananas.
moving on, we got a couple more games here. Packers versus Bears. Tom Grassi, what will you do if you come out and lose to the Bears week 1?
I'll blame it on injury.
Okay. That's fair. Who's injured? Who's out?
That's
Christian Watson injured. Romeo Doubs back at practice today. Dave Bakhtiari wasn't, but he's probably still going to play on Sunday. So, no. But honestly, I think it's going to be a competitive game. I really hope Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs are in there just so we can't play the excuse game at all. I feel really confident about the Packers. I think they're going to come out and they're going to look good. I think they're going to surprise some people.
What's your official prediction for this game?
27-21 Packers.
There we go. Go Pack, go. Any extra commentary we want to add to this game?
I think the Bears win. And Tom is going to
Justin Fields season?
Yeah, but if the Bears lose, like all the hype is just gone out of the Bears season. All the hype that they've talked all off season, all of that is going to disappear like that.
If Green Bay destroys Chicago, Packers fans on Twitter
sky is falling. I'm just saying.
Oh, I will be insufferable. The amount of crap that Bears fans have talked.
They really have.
It has been wild
and unfounded.
It's 18 Jacksonville Jags, but at least the Jags proved something.
Here's the thing, and I don't have a dog in this fight. I'm not a Bears fan. I'm not a Packers fan.
I've seen it.
The expectations on this Bears team is the most unwarranted and unjustified I have ever seen coming out of an offseason. And for Bears fans to be talking shit, like, I just don't buy into the Bears hype for 1 second. They are placing all of their chips on Justin Fields just having an incrementally better season than last year. Now, he was good down the stretch, and he gives you a lot of pause for optimism, but he ain't done that for a whole year.
And the thing is, like, their issues O-line in front seven. So it's like, how are you going to fix that?
But here's the thing, too. Like, they're going to be a better football team. But, guys,
I think so.
You were the worst team in the league last year.
I think like 6 or 7 wins. Like, I think there's going to be some incremental progress.
Everything is up because you can't get any worse.
Right. It's kind of like the Lions last year, right? The Lions were previously the worst team, or one of the worst teams in the NFL. And then they had a decent year last year.
Jacksonville.
But, like, there was no reason for the Lions to talk smack headed into last season. Okay. Like, there's no justification for that. And I just don't hear it. I don't see it for the Bears fan. Now, if they go out and get 10 wins, which, okay, I don't see that happening, but then you can back up your talk, but I don't understand.
The Lions backed it up last year, though. Like, legit.
Well,
the Lions didn't really
8 and 9
though.
No, because they started off really bad and then they wound up like going on a tear. I think they lost the Panthers near the end, but they were one Seattle loss away from being in the playoffs, right? So like they earned it. And I want to make it very clear, like the Bears, like the DJ Moore edition, I think is going to be phenomenal for them. They're a rebuilding defense, right? On top of that, like their offensive line is a little banged up right now. I know Tevin Jenkins is banged up, and I think they're going to be a better football team. Just I don't think they're going to win 10 games. Like, I think they're going to be hovering around like 7 to 9.
Breaking news. Kelce is out.
Yeah.
Out for the year? No,
out for the game.
No.
Out for the year.
No.
Travis Kelce is retired
for
from
tonight's
the NFL.
Game. Travis Kelce is going to the Super Bowl.
He is doing his podcast.
Did, Brandon? That's unfortunate.
What's that?
Well, let's see how it plays out.
When I did that parlay, that's not great.
Did someone say that he was not going to play tonight? Did someone say that he was not going to play tonight before we knew anything? That was me. That's all I knew.
This is the smart move for Chiefs fans. Like, legit. Like, he hyperextended his knee 2 days ago. If you have to sacrifice this game so he can actually heal, that is the better play. I know he wants to be out there, but as somebody who twisted their ankle playing football Saturday and it is still blue and purple.
You did that?
Yeah.
Should we call the ambulance?
I was catching a pass from former NFL player Cody Latimer. I wasn't going to drop the ball.
Okay.
Got him. Well, let's see how it plays out with Kelce tonight. Let's see how it plays out with Justin Fields this year. And the last thing we have to preview before we get out of here, 49ers versus Steelers. I will be rooting for the Steelers. What do you have to tell us about this game? What are you expecting, Tree?
Well, I was hoping that Nick Bosa would not play. I was hoping for the whole God that he would stay held out. But unfortunately, he has been extended. Oh,
look at that.
Extended like.
Look at that. Ooh.
Look at that.
Man, those calves are chiseled, baby.
Yeah, look at that.
Excuse me, I'll be in my
ball is
just
life,
like
guys.
Nick Bosa
Ball
against Trixicora 4.
Hey, Brandon, can we get you in the stirrups like this? Like, just,
nope.
Please.
Oh.
Go ahead, Tree. You were saying?
You need some lace stockings there, baby.
Stirrup.
Fragile must be Italian. But I will say, I think it's going to come down to Kenny Pickett versus Brock Purdy. Is Brock Purdy going to be fully ready with his elbow? And is Kenny Pickett, like he showed a lot of strides in the preseason, is he the real deal? Has the offense really evolved as we've seen? Or is it just going to be the same old issues with jet sweeps and pre-snap motion? So I think this is going to be a pretty tight game. It's going to be more defensive in terms of its length just because of just how both teams play. And San Francisco is kind of moldy in that regard. I think that it'll be a challenge for Kenny Pickett, but I think the Steelers somehow bullshit their way to a victory here just because this is how this goes. Penny kick it.
All right.
I think you mean
any other commentary on the 49ers-Steelers game?
I actually have the Steelers for like the upset of the week. I had that before Bosa came back, but I don't know. Like, I feel like maybe the 49ers come out a little bit rusty, and it's being played in Pittsburgh.
Yes, for sure.
It's gonna be rowdy. I got the Steelers winning. Let's see if Pickett can kind of transfer his success from the preseason into the regular season.
All right, I'm rooting for him, man.
Just
too. Watch. Justin Fields isn't the one that breaks out. It's Kenny Pickett.
Woo!
Just watch.
No hands, baby.
Just
Let's
watch.
see how it plays
It's
out.
something. That's the NFL. Something stupid like that always happens.
Oh yeah.
If we don't have anything else to talk about, let us head to the countdown so we can all get ready for Thursday night football.
Yes. I still got to edit. I still have to edit.
Yeah, baby. Football's back.
I'm crying in my tissue of towels.
2019, 18, 17, 16, 15, 4. You turn around and football standing at your door. Hey girl, looking mighty fine, wearing a nice dress. And then I watch the Lions, and they might make a mess. They might not be good. I think they will, but
Are you trying to say something, Tom?
All
Notorious
right.
Tory dropped a 50 bomb. What?
Hey, I'm happy about that.
who got
Let's
that?
start it off. I got $14.99. I am safe.
I am 68-20. I'm safe too. Thank the Lord.
I got
Hallelujah.
$61.99. I am safe.
All right, Perna, Tom. Let's go.
77?
Oh no, I'm
Tom.
dead. Yeah, no, I'm screwed. $313.89.
Ooh, okay. All right. Tom.
The wrestling belts don't ship until October. So
Oh.
Damn.
I'm trying to think. If the Bears
And
win this game, you
If
need
the
to do either the Super Bowl shuffle or a hype video praising the Chicago Bears.
So I already have to do a hype video for the Bears preseason. If they win, then I'll do it for postseason, and I'll make
What
it.
if you go
even.
wear a bear costume and have to like go to Walmart dressed as a bear?
I can just do clickbait in a bear costume.
No, this is too done. It's been done. The bear.
Mm.
I've had to wear a bear costume once.
You didn't wear it with grace, though, man. Tom will up it to 11.
What does he got to do? If the Bears win, he's got to do
Bears
something
win-
absolutely humiliating.
here we go.
Like-
If the Bears
Yes.
win, Tom Grassi has to buy a Justin Fields jersey, and then he has to run for the 1,200 yards that Justin Fields had last season rushing. Just sprinting back and forth on the football
On the
field
Brooklyn
until
Bridge.
he
No.
accumulates
That's 12
Justin
sprints.
Fields' rushing total from last year.
That would be
That
very
is a lot.
funny. Yes.
That is a lot.
That's a good punishment, right?
Continuous, yes, in a Justin Field. Okay, 1,200 rushing yards from Tom Grassi in a Justin Fields jersey. Now, what if the Packers win? Then, same thing.
Dress up like
has
the Great
to-
Zoo, also known as Aaron Rodgers in a Jets uniform.
How many rushing yards did he have? What was it?
Aaron Rodgers?
I kind of think the Bears are going to win.
How much did you get this week, Tom? 300?
1,200.
Yeah, $313.
I feel like that's a lot for the 313. I say we just make him make the video because he's already making 800 videos already.
1,140. Yeah, win or lose, 1,143 rushing yards exactly
Yep.
in a Justin Fields jersey.
In one take.
Okay, I tried.
Yep. He can
I
walk.
tried, Tom.
He can walk
I tried.
some of it, but like, yeah,
No?
1,100 something yards.
Walking.
Okay.
Gotta
Tom
do some
cycles.
moves,
He's
too.
ready for this challenge.
He cycles.
Mhm.
Anything
Oh,
we got coming out this today or this week before
tonight, I have the worst NFL stadiums of all time. Trying to get that out at least
Ooh.
before kickoff.
I got the North Saga starting today, so the NFC North's reaction to the offseason, that's going to come out within an hour. And yeah, that'll be that. And then streaming tonight, baby. And then it'll be a reaction right after the game.
Yep. AFC NFC haters guides have come out from me, and then Sports Ball Week 1 next week, where we all slowly die horrible deaths.
I got a Gators versus McNeese State pregame conference. And then I also got Miami Dolphins fans before the season coming out either today or tomorrow. And then it's all Cowboys content all year long, baby. Let's go.
Let's go.
I hope they go 0-17.
It's a 0% chance because we play the Giants. All right. This has been Clickbait Sports.
Bye.